What's up, what it is, and what it do, all my goblins, goblins, everybody in between. How y'all doing today? Coming with a little bit different one. I said for my Monday video, I was going to look up what the FBA is, Foundational Black Americans. There's a term I have never heard in my life up until Monday. And this video that I found was from a year ago explaining what it is. And one of the other reasons I want to jump on it is I had somebody comment on that video from Monday. That it's not about slavery, it is the history. So it's not about that the group came from slavery, is that they but slavery is part of the history. So to kind of get a better understanding of what Foundation Black American is, I found this video. But let's go learn something today.
Since there's been so many recent controversies, everybody's wondering what FBAs are. And here's a simple explanation. It's a lineage of people. For example, if you go to Ireland, the people there are Irish. If you go to Ethiopia, the people there are Ethiopian. If you come to America and you're talking about the American Black people who are descendants of freedmen, also known as descendants of the enslaved, that is a foundational Black American. It's not an ideology, it's not a group. And even FBA people will be talking about this and they'll be on YouTube talking about, yeah, the FBA group or the FBA members. I'm like, bro, you don't even know it, but you're FBA. Like, what are you talking about? I just thought this was common knowledge at this point. You know what I mean? Like people who are tapped in, I guess people who are tapped into Tariq's channel or the Black Authority or even Dr. Umar, because, there's a little back and forth between Dr. Umar and some FBA sometimes. But Dr. Umar's FBA, like even if you don't subscribe to certain popular voices within the foundational Black American community, you can still be a foundational Black American. It's
I thought that's maybe what I said. I'm about to go back and check. I thought that's what I said was like they're descendants from slavery. Like it's not about slavery, but they are the descendants of American slaves. I thought that's what I said. Maybe I didn't.
basically a way of referring to us rather than referring to ourselves as African Americans, because Africa's not a country. So since we don't have our own separate country outside of America, we're just using a way to describe ourselves that makes sense for our lineage that goes back since before this country was even called America. A lot of our ancestors were here prior to Christopher Columbus and all of that. A native Black person that is from America whose parents did not immigrate from Brazil, did not immigrate from Africa, did not immigrate from Europe or anywhere else in the world. Our ancestors were descendants of slaves in the United States of America. Now, one of the reasons that we have chosen to self-identify is because we have a specific set of political problems within this country that have not been addressed and that are actively not being addressed on purpose. For example, reparations for slavery. No other group of people were enslaved in the United States, had our wealth stolen consistently. There's so many different things.
So I'm gonna say something that might be a bit controversial, and it might piss some people off. Personally, I don't care. I don't care. Would getting reparations be nice? Yes, it would. But I don't care because I'm not going to live my life waiting for something like that to happen. Because in my opinion, this is just my own personal opinion, instead of me sitting around waiting for somebody to give me a check, I'd rather go out and just do my own thing and try to build my own on my own. Um, I'm aware like Black Wall Street, all these black neighborhoods. Central Park used to be a black neighborhood till that got taken down and turned into a park in New York. So I understand that we have a history here. But I'm honestly not finna just sit around and gripe and complain waiting on something like that. And again, I know it's gonna piss people off. I know it's probably people for typing up talking trash right now, mad and all this other stuff. But I don't care. Again, if they went and handed that, it was like, hey, here you go. Hey, thanks, appreciate it. But I'm not gonna sit around waiting on it. I'm not counting on it.
Y'all know about the stuff at this point, and if you act like you don't, a lot of you are just gaslighting. But redlining, civil rights, blah blah blah, the whole nine. So the people who fought for all that, And the people who don't get their just due and people don't give us a certain level of respect and understanding of why some of us who are in the bad situations that we're in are in those situations. They don't want to look at the historical context. They just want to talk down on us or blah, blah, blah. That's why it's time for us to just stop being Santa Claus and trying to look out for everybody else when it's not reciprocal and look out for ourselves. And that's the problem that we're trying to solve right now. It ain't to hate on nobody else. It's just to focus on ourselves. And you got to take care of you before you take care of anybody else.
I mean, I subscribe to that ideology. Take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. Right, indeed. The issue we run into as far as just America in general is like everybody's fighting each other. You so worried about what everybody else doing, you can't take care of yourself. I can't bring somebody else up if I'm sitting on the same level ground as them. I got to build myself up, and in order to then grab somebody else by the hand and pull them up, where the idea would be is everybody would do that for the next one. So if you move up 3 steps, you can pull somebody up 2 steps. You know, they can pull somebody else up 1 step, and then as I go up, everybody else down goes up, goes up, goes up. Once that 1 step becomes a 2 step, they grab the next person, bring that up. And one of the biggest things is, and this be the part that make a lot of people mad, you got to be picky and choose. You got to pick and choose. You can't just grab every single person and pull them up, because not everybody gonna have the best intent. Not everybody's gonna have the best intent for you. They're not gonna have the best intent for themselves. They only gonna be worried about themselves and what they can get, and they will burn down everything in order to get what it is that they want, with no regard for anybody else. So unfortunately, you have to be real picky and choosy about who you try to bring up with you, because some of them will backstab you, especially when money started looking good. They'll backstab you 100%.
Just like the pilot tell you when you're inside of an airplane, you got to put your own air mask on before you can put anybody else's on. That's what it is right now when it comes to that. There's outspoken figures such as Tariq Nasheed, the Black Authority, Brother Marcel Dixon. You know, there's people who speak up on our issues politically to do what's in our own best interest. I mean, we have so many just phenomenal people in our history that come from our culture, and our culture just gets whittled down to just drill rappers and strippers and all this. Like, it's a small part of what we represent as a whole. You know, we have intellectuals and scholars and people who travel the world. But like I said, we're not a monolith. We represent 43 plus million people in this country. You can't find 43 million people anywhere who are exactly the same. We're just trying to look out for ourselves and speak up for ourselves and take care of ourselves and elevate, because our group is at the bottom within this society. It's like Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about. I was sharing Dr. Claude Anderson videos in like 2010. Nobody was even paying attention, you know, and then all of a sudden in 2020, he gets on a Breakfast Club and boom, he blows up, and I'm glad he.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that that's the case with a lot of them. I mean, it was the same with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was making videos for the longest time, and he was doing that for men. The same stuff he did for women, he was worse. He was way more brutal with men until he did it to a woman. Once he did it to a woman, boom, viral. It only take really one moment. I'm still kind of waiting on mine. So, somebody want to go and throw me 2 cents right there, I got you. But all it takes is that one little single moment, and it can change everything as far as where you go from a nobody to everybody saying your name. Everybody know your name.
Did. I'm not mad about it, but I had Powernomics in 2010. So I've been focused. I've been studying, but this ain't about me. I'm trying to describe to y'all what a foundational Black American is, and that is me. And Dr. Claude Anderson is a powerful foundational Black American who is calling us Native Black Americans, but basically the term foundational Black American has caught on in recent years, but it's the same concept. As a group, we happen to be on the bottom economically, but we have also been actively sabotaged throughout the whole history of this country anytime we try to, quote unquote, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Now, one thing I'm going to say about that particular thing that has happened in the past. Yes, it is part of the American history. It happened. But as far as recent years, it's been a lot of self-sabotage in there. Like putting people like Sexy Red and Glorilla on top, and Ice Spice on top, and some of these other clowns. It'd be so many of these random drill rappers and these random people that pop up. I can't keep track no more. Like, I still got Dank DeMoss. Like, I still can't figure out where that came from. How the heck that happened? I ain't heard of Dank DeMoss until the whole Uber situation. But she a whole like rapper, and not just the cheeseburger rapper. She's actually a rapper. Like it's weird. Stop putting these people up on these pedestals. Get somebody who actually got some sense. Find a nice doctor, somebody with a PhD. Put them up there on the pedestal, right? People who actually got some sense. Put them on the pedestal. Personally, I'm not a fan of Dr. Umar, but I don't like him. I'm not a fan of what he say and some of the stuff he do. Don't they keep putting weird people up there? That's self sabotage. You put these people on the pedestal, more people are going to try to live their life based on what they say, and it's going to keep everybody in the same level one that I was just talking about. And the few who do get out of there don't help nobody else try to get out of there. Maybe they tried once and it failed and they say never again. But you can't have that mentality. You can't sit up there and try to move up and not help anybody else, but then complain about how the environment is. What are you doing to change the environment? If you're not doing nothing to change the environment and change mentality, hush. Don't even say nothing.
And that's a unique challenge that we face outside of any other group within this country. No other group has been actively sabotaged.
Listen, gotta make this video, hard video for me to do. I'm on site. Redstone Firearms, Burbank, California, has succumbed to political attacks and had to close their doors. To my knowledge, they were the first and only black-owned gun store on the West Coast.
So that's the primary agenda, is to address this active sabotage and stop the sabotage. We find
But that's not active sabotage. So if they the only black owned gun store on the West Coast, that means they the only ones who actually did the correct business, right? Maybe they not the only. He said they the only one, so I'm gonna assume maybe he went up and down the whole West Coast and did all his research to find out. Because some businesses that are black owned just don't put it out front that they black owned. Personally, I'm more likely to stay away from a business if you put your race or gender first. I want to see that you got a good business, and then our secondary be like, oh, they black owned, oh, they Indian owned, or whatever the case is, or this is a woman owned, construction business. Are they doing a good job? That's what I care about first. If you're doing a good job, I don't care about nothing else. I'm in. I will support you. It's a place where I live that do these cupcakes. I heard about how good the cupcakes were first, and then found out that was a black woman. After that, that's the only place I go for these cupcakes. Now I had to chill out a little bit because I gained a lot of weight from eating them cupcakes, but they delicious. I'm trying to tell you, like they are some of the best cupcakes I have ever had in my life. I will never go anywhere else to get these cupcakes except for her. But that's because they talked about how good they were first. They made them sound delicious, and then I found out it was a black woman that runs the place.
every war, we try to do everything we can to fit in this country and be respected, but it's just like there's something just innately about us that is just hated by the dominant society. Not saying that every white person is against us or a bigot, but if you benefit from the historical theft from my family and my lineage, that's a problem, and you need to be part of the solution rather than
Yeah, but you can't. Uh, you saying they benefit from what was stolen from you. And again, I don't know who this guy is. Maybe he's done his lineage tracing and he knows. Maybe they actually did take from his family directly. I'm from Florida. To my knowledge, ain't nobody took nothing from my people. So I can't say, "Oh, you benefit from the theft of my people." No, you didn't. My people ain't had none. We had gators, and we eat them. Gators delicious. You ain't never had none. You should try it. It tastes like chicken, just a little chewier.
being a part of the problem. And a lot of us get gaslit as if we're some kind of bigots or something crazy like that. A lot of people are passionate about the problems that we have because they understand the situation that we're in. If you don't have a level of knowledge, or you're just being disingenuous, like some of these white supremacists online who want to get in groups on Twitter space and on lives and troll people and just say certain little, what about black on black crime and crime in Chicago and all the little repetitive, boring talking points that disingenuous people say over and over. We got these people that, from different groups that we looked out for historically who get in groups together and talk crazy about us. It's just like a slap in the face. So some people kind of come off a certain way, but yeah, we're not a group. It's just a group of people. And some of those people are going to be assholes. Some of those people are going to be friendly. Some of those people are going to be whatever. We're just a group of people like any other group of people. Foundational Black Americans have played important roles throughout the country's history, from Dr. Martin Luther King to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There's Nat Turner and the Rebellion, the Maroons, Black people that share a history with us when it comes to the enslavement. Basically, they became foundational Black Americans, no matter where they came from at the time, whether they came from Africa or their ancestors or they were already here, or the people that mixed together, or people who came from the islands back in before slavery or during slavery. We're all now foundational Black Americans. If one of your parents are foundational Black American, you are foundational Black American. There can be issues at times, like with the Candace Owens is. I believe she's half foundational Black American, but she identifies as Caribbean. That can get tricky. You know, if she's half, technically she would be, but she
So, I mean, I personally don't like the whole label thing. If somebody asks me, well, where you from? Florida. Well, where your people from? Florida and Mississippi. like, it's if you're talking about genealogy, that's a whole nother story. But it's I don't like the whole label thing. I don't need a label. Like, everybody seems like they want to be special. That's why they got all these weird, confusing labels out there. Like, if she want to identify as Caribbean, let her identify as Caribbean. Like, plain and simple. Don't call her half Caribbean, half foundational, half FBA. Like, if she wants to be Caribbean, she Caribbean. If you just want to say you're a Black American, be a Black American. You don't need the F part of it. Like, just be a Black American. If you want to call yourself FBA, call yourself FBA for all I care. But don't start sticking that on everybody else, because if you set up there and don't want someone to do this about you, why you turn around and do it to somebody else? That's the quickest way for people to be against you, is to start you forcing your own labels on these other people.
just couldn't speak for us politically because she'd be doing the whole sellout thing and the white worship thing. So that don't really fly in a lot of foundational Black American circles, especially those of us who are politically active and those of us who study history. You know, that's not really going to fly in our circles like that. But like I said, we're not a group. So if someone you meet that's a descendant of someone who was enslaved prior to like 1850 and all that, whether they're aware of it or not, they're foundational Black American. You even got people who troll, you know, white people who come in and troll Tariq Nasheed from time to time and call themselves foundational white Americans at this point in time. So it's a weird times we're living in. But if y'all have any questions, if I didn't cover something, y'all just ask me in the comments and maybe I'll cover it on the next one. I'm signing.
That's it. Foundational Black American, first of all. And then you say foundational. So which one is it? Foundational or foundational? I need a U or a O. Which one? But question, comments, concerns. We learned what FBA was. I learned a little new something. I don't think it changed my mentality or my mindset about anything personally, but maybe it changed yours a little bit. Maybe I completely missed the point. Maybe it went way over my head. But let me know down there below, as usual, and I will catch you next time. Deuces. Oh, well, no, not deuces yet. Wait a second. I'm not the Hodge twins. Why y'all keep calling me that? Like, I'm not neither one of the Hodge twins. This ain't a separate channel of the Hodge twins, because if it was, I have a lot more subscribers and views. And as you see, I do not. I'm not a Hodge twin. All right? Stop calling me that.